Hello and welcome to Take This TV, the television book club podcast where each week we watch an episode or two of our favorite shows and we talk about it with our friends in the fandom who happens to be you. What? Oh my gosh. I'm Carmen Askernes and I'm joined as always by the amazing Kimberly Woods. Hello.
Hey, hot potatoes.
This season we are watching Fallout. Oh my
And
gosh.
today we're on episode 1 called The End. So grab your Nuka-Colas and get ready.
Mm.
The official Amazon blurb is okie dokie.
Is that it?
That's it. And I love it. It's very fitting.
Oh my gosh. Was it you that was telling me that who's the actor who plays Lucy?
Oh, Ella Purnell.
Were you the one that was telling me that like she described her character as Ned Flanders in the post-apocalyptic Ned Flanders? Maybe I saw
No,
that
I
somewhere
hadn't heard
else.
that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And I definitely got those vibes.
I loved her character. She's so cool.
Yeah.
So Carmen, you're coming to this show. You've never played the games, right?
I've
So is
never
this
played the games.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is your introduction to the whole world of Fallout.
Yeah, like I've had lots of friends and people that I know that play them, and so I've like, I'm aware of it, but I don't really know about the lore, and I haven't played the games.
So I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Have you played the games?
I played the games. It's been a hot minute. I played Fallout 3 pretty much all the way through, and then part of Fallout 4, and that was like in 2015. So it's been a minute. But
Just a little bit.
just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. What is time? But yeah, I'm excited to talk about the show, and I'm loving it so far.
Oh my gosh, me too. Let's jump in it.
Let's do it.
So we open on this birthday party. And in the first scene, we get to meet this cowboy, and he's putting on a show for these kids at this birthday party. And it's like it looks like it's in the like 50s, but it also looks like it's present day. So like some like retro future kind of thing going on. And right away, I was like, I don't know anything about Fallout, but I know that it's like a post-apocalyptic thing, like setting. So stuff's about to go down.
I love how there's like some news update happening, and they're just like, let's turn it down. We're having this party. I don't want to worry about that right now.
Yeah.
It's so great.
The
Seems pretty
mom or
accurate
whoever.
for like current times sometimes, you know?
Yeah, good
We're
vibes
like,
only. Turn
forget.
that off.
Yeah. So I love that part of it. It's
So
2077 apparently when we start out during this birthday party.
what? The birthday party's taking place in 2077?
Yep.
Whoa. Well, I guess time repeats itself, but dang, wild. Okay, so
Yeah.
they're having this party, and they're putting on a show, and this cowboy, he like is wrapping up, and he's there with his daughter, and
And people are like, what is this cowboy doing here? Like, what is this washed up celebrity? Like, why is he doing birthday parties now?
Is that okay? I couldn't tell if like he was supposed to be like a celebrity or if he was supposed to be like a veteran or what his whole backstory was supposed to be, because it seems like there's the two guys who are teasing him and they're like, do the thumb thing, and I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah. I mean, maybe both, because then later he was like, when he's talking about the thumb thing with his daughter, because she was asking about it, he mentions his time in the military and how, like, they would stick their thumb up, and if the size of the blast was smaller than your thumb, then you might be okay because you're far enough away, but if it was any bigger, then you're doomed.
Don't bother
basically.
running.
Yeah, don't bother running because you're just doomed.
Jeez Louise.
His daughter was so cute.
She was so cute and innocent, and I was like, oh man, my heart is not ready. I definitely feel like as I get older, it's like there's easier for me to be like emotionally invested in characters and stuff, and I'm like, oh, there's a kid. It's coming. I'm about to get emotionally wrecked by this show.
There's that really cute moment when, uh, during the birthday party, everybody else is inside having a good time watching something, and he's standing out there with his daughter, and she's the one that notices the blast first, and she was like, "Uh, is it supposed to be the size of your thumb or mine?" She's, like,
Oh
holding
my
it up, and, like, this
gosh.
blast is starting, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, this
When
is crazy."
when he goes inside to get her the cake and you see the bomb drop, I was like, how does nobody hear that? But um I don't know anything about nuclear weapons, but maybe it's the thing where it's like silent at first, and because we saw the like shockwave in the show, we saw the shockwave like rippling out, and then it was like carrying the sound with it. I was like, oh my gosh, what do you do in a situation like that?
I know. I was like, "Move, move, move." They were in slow motion.
Hmm.
I was like, "Hurry, move."
And
But, yeah, the rich people, like, went into their own little
their
thing that
bunker.
their bunker they'd built and, like, pushed the other guy out.
Yeah, well, because like we saw the guy who gets punched and isn't let into the vault. We saw him like being like a bully with the guy who I guess was hosting the party, and they're like commiserating or whatever. But then you see that when stuff's going down, he's like, "Oh no, hey, we're not friends right now. Like you can't come in my
Yep,
bunker.
yep,
Um,
only room for me. Bye.
only room for me and my family." And then so the cowboy grabs his daughter and he's trying to ride away on his horse. And the whole time I was like, steal the car, steal the car. The horse isn't fast enough. But yeah, because it was like that scene had me. I was like, it was actually hard to watch because I was like, dang. Um, I feel like it's there's the like there was the Cold War period and everyone's like, oh, what's gonna happen? And I even feel like with like the world we live in now, it's like, oh man, that's not impossible. And it's like they're trying to he's trying to outride the blast, and then we see other bombs starting to drop in different places, and then one drops really close to where they are, and I was like, oh bro, it's, it's a wrap. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
I was like, "They're doomed." Yep. Then we cut to 200 years into the future
Yeah, holy
in Vault
smokes.
33.
So I have a question. As
Yeah.
someone who's played the games, are there like, well, I guess we kind of learned in this episode, but like, are there multiple vaults? Like, where did the vaults come from? Is that
Yeah,
like,
I think that the government set up some vaults. And in the games, the ones that I played at least, I feel like all the vaults that I experienced were above 100. Like, I feel like it was, like, Vault 101. And so it's interesting here because we hear about, like, Vault 32, 33. So are these, like, the first ones that were built that we're getting here? And I think they
oh,
were supposed to have underground tunnels in the game, but they didn't always exist or something happened to them. And here we're getting to see, like, the underground tunnels, this idea of them having, like, these trades. So, yeah, but it's very much like in the games I remember you usually like wake up in the vault and are like
oh,
discovering what's happened in the vault. And like sometimes certain vaults had different like experiments, like, because they're government run vaults. So, like,
oh, snap.
there's some mystery to be solved about what was happening in this vault and what drama. So, yeah.
It was like when we jump to the vault 200 years in the future is very much like an Ayn Rand novel. It's just like really dystopian, and we see all these people like living this idyllic life, but all underground with the projections of the outside world, and everyone. We get the impression that all of these people have never known anything but living in the vault. Um, and I like the sort of visual shorthand that they use to like tell us a lot about this. It's like we've stories like this have kind of been told before, and I like that they trust the audience to have that prior knowledge to just like kind of get into the meat of what this show is about. Um, and then we meet one of our protagonists,
Lucy.
Lucy.
I love her. She's so great. She's so bright eyed and I don't know, ready to get the job done. Like I don't know,
Yeah, when we first meet her,
perfect vault resident.
she's the perfect resident, a stand-up citizen, and she's kind of like going
Overseer's
over
daughter.
the overseer's daughter, and we get this voiceover of her like going over some of her day-to-day life and her accomplishments and stuff. And it's like not only is it introducing us to her, but it also is like giving us some context into sort of what she's trying to do, because we find out that she's submitting a request to be in this like matchmaker program, which is when they trade with other vaults to like find people to breed to keep the population, I guess, sustainable in the vaults.
Yeah, because apparently it's mostly cousins right now.
Yeah, I was cracking up because like we meet Lucy and she's walking with her friend and they're talking about life or whatever, and she's like, I'm so after she gets approved for the marriage swap or whatever, and she's like, I'm so excited that it's going to be the real thing because after years of cousin stuff, I'm excited for the real thing. I was like, cousin stuff. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
so
Yeah.
funny. I also love seeing the Pip Boys in action, like in this live action, because
Are
they're so
those in the
important in the
game?
game. Yeah.
Oh.
And there's the fact that, you know, they used it to cast their vote for that on whether they would approve her, and then they like send it to her and she's like, ah, it's approved. But what about this wedding dress, Carmen? Because when she goes and she's getting ready for the trade, we see her like sign and date this wedding dress that has all these other signatures on it, and I'm just like, okay, so is everybody the same size that has worn this dress? Like,
Oh
because
my
they're all in the same
gosh.
like fitness program? Like, what? They all fit into the
Well,
same dress.
yeah, that was also like made me think of like people writing their names and the dates in the dress. There's like
Yeah,
something really just like disturbing and dystopian about that.
yeah.
And I was just like, oh man, like they only have one dress that they pass around. Um and so it made me feel like um you know, all these people down here are sort of essentially resources, and but they don't see it that
Yeah.
way. Kind of like they're livestock on a farm, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Um, so they go and get ready for this trade, which I was confused about first because I thought, like, is she leaving? Is she? But no. So apparently she's staying, and Vault 33 is trading some parts and seed um, in exchange for this guy,
for a
the
breeder,
breeder. Yeah. He's supposedly coming to stay in Vault 33. And they have like some like dinner celebration in honor of this, you know, union.
yeah. So all the people from Vault 33 come over to 32 come over to 33 for the celebration. And we get like, so all the people we've been meeting from Vault 33 where Lucy lives are all really chipper and upbeat, and they're all like kind of enjoying life. And then we meet the people from Vault 32 and they all seem, just at a glance, seem a little downtrodden. Like
Yeah.
the
And a
energy's
little
not the
dirty.
same. And a little dirty. Yeah. It's like, okay.
They've said
Suspicious.
they had a blight. Yeah, they're like, we've had a blight on our food. And we're like, oof, they've had
Oh,
it
and then
rough. Maybe that's why.
the
Yeah.
overseer, Lucy's dad mentions we were sorry to hear about the loss of overseer what's his face from Vault
Oh,
32.
that's right.
And they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was terrible.
So we're already like, what is happening? Lucy's brother is like super smart and decides, like, I'm gonna go spy around over there on Vault 32 and see what's up. And yeah, it's like a horror story over there.
So
He,
there was like a person that was green, and I was like, is that person irradiated or why are they green?
and all the crops were just dead,
Mm-hmm.
empty baby cribs. And it was like, okay, how long have like, you know, we discover that they're raiders, surprise. But like, how long have they been living over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? In Vault 32, they had to like know something of this plan, this like trade, in order to capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
So
how long have they been staying in Vault 32? And
I mean, something's up. But before Lucy's brother can get back to tell everybody about it, Lucy and her new husband, is it Monty? I think is his name.
yeah,
Yeah,
Monty.
he tells her, "Show me my new home," and so they
Full
go
Monty.
back. He shows her the full Monty, and she's like, "Okie dokie." He's there, cheeks out.
Yeah, I love it. Okie dokie, table time. It's on the table.
Yeah. So she pours some sugar on him, and they get to know each other.
Some sugar bombs.
Yeah. But after the deed is done, Lucy thinks it's a little weird that Monty's like he like cleans himself up after they're done with the curtains, and it's like, that's a little gross, but okay, I guess. And she hears screaming in the hallway, and then she notices that Monty is like he was like eating like he's famished when they were all at the party together, and now he's drinking water out of like a vase for flowers or whatever, or like a pitcher, like he's dying of thirst. And so Lucy gets the hint that Monty is a raider, and she uses her Pit Boy to see that he's irradiated, and that's how she finds
Yep.
out.
Yeah, she's like, you're from the surface.
So not knowing anything about the games, I was like, wait, what does that mean? Is he like a mutant or something? Because I know that there's like mutants or something like that. And so
Yeah.
I don't think he was a mutant. I think he was just like a person from the surface.
Yeah. So they fight. They have this gnarly fight.
He lays the smackdown on her pretty hard.
Yeah.
But Lucy has been taking a lot of fighting classes. And oh my gosh, freaking hardcore. She bashes him with the pitcher, and then uses the broken glass of the pitcher to like cut his throat and cut half of his face off.
Ooh.
And that set the tone for the show of like, it's like kind of silly and quirky and fun, but it's also super violent. And I was not expecting that.
I loved it. It's great because later we find out too, after she like makes her way back into the main area and finds her brother, like that guy's not dead. He pops up again. He pops up again, like trying to get her, and then her dad saves her and like clocks him on the head.
And drowns him in the potatoes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Or the pickles or whatever those were.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pickle barrel.
Yeah, dad handled business.
I was like, dang. Yeah, that was good. It also explains earlier too, because she said some funny comment like, "What's your sperm count?" He was just like,
Well, because they were all at dinner, and like apparently that was like a completely normal thing to ask based on their society. But her friend was kind of just like, "Hey, be cool, be cool."
Yeah, and she was just like, "Why is he not answering? Everybody knows this."
How weird.
So that's pretty funny. Basically, they've kind of captured a lot of the group. The main raider, the raider lady. I don't remember what her name is. And she gives Overseer Hank a choice where she's like, hey, it's them or your daughter. And he basically saves his daughter and ends up giving up himself. They shoot him with some, darts and he passes out. Trank darts. And that's all of Overseer Hank for now, but we get some juicy tidbit because Overseer Lady, Raider Lady, basically says to Lucy, you look like your mother.
Oh, what does that mean?
Oh no, I'm excited to find out. Because also in this episode, we got the little detail that I think it was Lucy's mother was from a different vault and came as part of a trade here.
Something like that.
Or either Hank did.
I think Hank came to this vault because he was saying that like
he was from 31.
Yeah, he was like he never thought about the other vault again after he saw the mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they were a successful pairing of the triennial trade. But yeah, I'm dying to know like what happened to her mother. Like, yeah, I'm all here for this.
I assumed her mom was dead, but I guess we don't know. She could have left the vault, so
she could be on the surface somewhere. Yeah. She could have got taken by these raiders or something else. I don't know. I feel like there's more to the story, and I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I thought the raider leader was going to be the cowboy's daughter at first, and I was like, wait, it's 200 years later, so I don't think. And also, they did get nuked, so I don't think that's her.
But I mean, this is jumping ahead a bit. We see him later.
We do see. I mean, honestly, that was the worst kept secret because he was in like all the marketing materials.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish that he wasn't because I was like, oh shoot, he's back.
Yeah, good old Walton Goggins returned from the dead.
He's a legend.
So
yeah,
I don't know where his daughter is.
I don't know if she's alive.
If she's alive, he is. Somehow.
Somehow. I'm interested to find out. So after Lucy's dad gets taken, we switch over to Maximus. And Maximus is catching those hands in a training exercise. And apparently Maximus is in like the army or something. And so,
He's in the Brotherhood of Steel.
I
As
think
they're called over here.
let me check something actually really quick.
The Brotherhood of Steel. It's their duty to secure the wasteland, and they're also finders and securers of pre-war tech.
Yes.
What you
Okay,
looking
cool,
up,
cool,
Carmen?
cool. I just looked something up really quickly because I just wanted to just verify that I'm able to talk about it. So I worked on a Fallout set when I worked at Magic the Gathering at Wizards of the Coast, and that was how I kind of learned stuff about Fallout because I didn't know anything about it. And I remember this group, the Brotherhood of Steel, because I was learning about them when I was working on that set, and so I was like, "Oh, I know those guys. Those are like the bad guys, right?" Um, so Maximus is part of that group, which is kind of like this like militaristic pseudo religious organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They kind of worship the tech.
Mm.
In a way.
And so like we see Maximus is like he's kind of, you know, somebody who has a lot of ambition and wants to sort of move up in the ranks, but he's not very impressive. It seems like we see him in class, and the teacher person asks him what a piece of tech is in a like manual or whatever. He gets it wrong, and gets smacked in the mouth, which is pretty hardcore.
Poor guy.
Everybody's laying hands on this
He's
man.
not having a good day. Then he finds out his friend gets promoted. Dane.
Oh yeah, Dane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like
he doesn't take it very well.
They sneak off together because he's on latrine duty, and Dane's like, "Hey, let's go and like sneak and look at what are the metal suits called?
The power armor suits.
The power armor. Okay, yeah, because those guys show up and they're all like walking in slow motion across the sand, and everybody's like, "Whoa, look at those guys!" So they sneak off to go see them, and they get caught. And we think that Dane's going to get in trouble, but they actually get promoted. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's celebrating, and cut to poor Maximus by himself having a fit. Really
like,
loudly.
Yeah. So I was like, does nobody hear him screaming over here?
I was like, wow, he's not really hiding that at all.
Jealous of his friend's success.
Jealous of his
Yeah.
He didn't take it well. The next morning they wake up. Dane like steps in a boot that has like a blade in it or something.
Someone put a razor blade in Dane's boot. So when they put their boots on, it cut their ankles and their legs up, which is super gnarly. And then Maximus goes over and is standing by Dane when the teachers or whoever, the sergeants, come in and catch him and they take him away. And there was a part of me that was like, oh, it wasn't Maximus because we didn't see him do it. But then, we don't know what he did after that scene where he threw a tantrum. So, and also when he was throwing a tantrum, I was like, I know you're mad, but why are you touching that like dirty toilet lid with your bare hands? Like, ew.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, because he was on latrine duty and he was like digging a hole to put all the poop in.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
He gets interrogated, and they basically ask him like why he joined up with the Brotherhood of Steel, and he says it's to hurt the people who hurt him.
Sounds like a little Sith Lord to me.
Yeah. Basically they tell him to like, that everybody was blaming him for his buddy's incident, and he was saying it wasn't him, but he would die for this organization if that's what they wanted, basically.
Do you think he's like really like a zealot like that, or do you think he was just trying to save his bacon in that moment?
I think a little bit of both. Well, did you see how excited he was at the end of his, like, when he gets promoted to being a squire in place of his buddy because of all this? And when we see him like on the helicopter thing, his face, he's like so happy.
He is, which
He's like
made me
so
feel like
giddy.
I was like, oh, he
It's
did it.
like,
It was him.
do you think he did it to his friend?
I think it was it either was him or he was in cahoots with the guy that we saw that was like kind of looking up at him as he was flying
Mm,
away, and they were in
mm,
it together. But I feel like he had
mm.
something to do with it. At first, I was like, it couldn't have been Maximus, right? Like this is our like perspective character. He's gonna be a good guy and turn against the Brotherhood. But now I'm like, no, it was him. He did that.
Really? I still don't want to think it's him.
We'll see.
Although I do feel like when his friend was looking at him, like Dane looked a little suspicious. Like, was it you?
Well, they said they were like,
Was
I
it
told
you?
them that they asked if it was you, and I told them that you wouldn't hurt a fly. And then he kind of made a little face, and I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like Dane didn't know, but I feel like he did. I mean, he just looked so like he looked like he got away with something at the end, and he was like, "I finally got my station" or whatever. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
But I
maybe.
mean, he was also pretty butthurt about not getting it in the first place and really wanting to go out there. So I can't tell if he's just like really dedicated to like wanting to be the squire, which also that scene, like him carrying the big gun for the for the power suit knight was
Yeah,
hilarious. I was like, I love this concept. This is really funny.
it's pretty silly.
What's going here?
Um, we do get some flashbacks of like young Maximus doing his best Indiana Jones, coming out of a refrigerator after some kind of explosion,
He's
and
so cute.
he's just a little
Hiding in the
guy.
fridge,
Yeah, he's
trying
just
to
a little
survive.
guy trying to survive. And then we see somebody in a power suit there, and it looks like maybe that's how he first got with the Brotherhood of Steel, like he was saved by them or something like that.
Yeah. I
So,
think in the game you could find power suits. Like I remember
oh
finding a power suit, and I think if you were in the power suit, you could lift the gun.
heck
But
yeah!
I don't know, like if they had people running around after them like esquires. But I love that.
It was
I
pretty
love that
fun.
idea.
Well, yeah, like the idea of those people being knights is an interesting way to look at it.
Did you watch The Wheel of Time?
I did.
Oh. So did you recognize the actor playing Dane? Zelo Mendez Jones?
I did not.
They were Egwene Seldom
What? Really?
in those intense scenes. Yeah. That's the same
Oh,
actor. I was like, I
dang!
recognize those eyes, and I looked them up, and yeah,
I
they
did
played
not know
Rena or
that.
Reyna. Mhm.
Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty awesome. We cut back for a second with Lucy again,
Hmm.
who's like trying to convince people to form a search party and go out and look for her dad. And they're all like, "What? Open the vault door? Are you crazy?"
They're all pretty
So she,
scared.
yeah, she's like, "If we just do it for a little bit of time." So she decides that she's gonna go, and she has her brother keep an eye out for her, which he does a horrible job of.
Well,
He
because
lets the elevator go back down. Like he's
she
supposed to watch
tells
the
him to
elevator,
like
I
hold
think.
the elevator, and I was like, "What? Does he have to like hold a button or something?" And then he just kind of stands there, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it's just like a throwaway line." But then the elevator goes down, and I was like, "Oh no, I guess he was actually supposed to hold the elevator, and he didn't do it."
So we get some people coming up to try to stop her. But her and her kissing cousin's like trying to go with her. Kissing cousin's like, let me come.
It's like you can't go alone. And so like if there was a part of me that was like, I mean, I guess he cares. But at the same time, it's like, it's your cousin, man. That's
Yeah,
gross.
yeah.
Come on.
Move on,
Move
please.
on. That's your cousin. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Uh,
incest, yeah. I don't
yeah. Nah. Not here for that.
No, I'm not
So
about that
let's
life.
leave
Yeah.
that behind. Lucy leaves that behind.
In Vault 33. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah, in
come on
Vault
here.
33. Pieces out to the surface for the first time. And it looks like we're in Santa Monica.
Was that
It
I
looks
was
like
like,
the
that looks like the
pier.
pier,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah. Also it looks like Pompeii. Just a little bit. I was like looking at the bodies and I'm like, what happened? Is this supposed to be like Pompeii?
I mean,
Like
yeah, we don't
frozen in time.
know.
Frozen in time.
Well, we learn in the next scene where we find some grave robbers who shoot a person with a baby's foot or a baby doll's leg. Yeah. Is that from the game?
Yes, that's from the game. I don't know if we got. They had something called the junk launcher that could turn like anything into a weapon or
That's
into
cool.
ammunition. So you could find it in the game. So I think that was like the nod to that.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they dig up the ghoul, and we learn that the ghoul is the cowboy that we meet in the beginning, and that he's actually from California. So it's like when the bombs dropped, what Lucy sees is that like the aftermath of what happened that day that we saw the bombing, or like was there some other event that happened? Because you said it looks like Pompeii, and it's like I don't know anything about nuclear bombs, but I don't know if it like,
yeah, I don't even see that.
Yeah.
So we also have this thread throughout this episode that there's like somebody, a denizen of an enclave, has escaped because like the Brotherhood of Steel is after this person who's escaped who has this artifact that they want. And also the reason these grave robbers are coming to get the ghoul is because there's a bounty, and they also want to like go after this guy from the enclave, and they're interested in where he's running to. Because they're like, it's not so much what he's running from, it's like where he's going. And so I'm like really excited, like, who is this guy? What does he have? What does this all mean?
Yeah, it reminded me of the Keymaker in the Matrix. And I was like, uh-oh, this person's going to be really important. Also, was the photo, was it dog meat? Was that dog meat?
Yeah, it's dog meat
Dog
in
meat.
the photo.
I know that.
Yeah. This guy has an artifact and he has dog meat. So I'm excited to meet them both.
Yeah. So those grave robbers, they dig up the ghoul and just being a cool cowboy character. I never watched Justified, but I'm sure that people who watched that show were excited to see Walton Goggins play a cowboy character again. So he absolutely wastes the grave robbers because they put a chicken out there as bait because they said that ghouls can't resist chickens, which I'm like, is that from the game? What does that mean?
I don't remember that. I didn't know that meant.
Oh, okay.
What is happening?
Like, are they like, are ghouls like afraid of chickens or something? Like what? Or I guess it's like
I don't remember that element.
Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't work. So he's apparently not like a savage a mutant or whatever they called it. And then he kills them. So,
yeah, he's savage on them, but not the chicken.
Yeah, so the chicken gets to live.
Their test didn't work. He took him down.
Do you think that he's going to end up being an antagonist for Lucy?
I think so.
Oh, man. Because at first I was like, oh, this is like, they're going to be a little crew and they're all going to like join up and fight together and stuff. But now I'm like, oh, wait, is he going to be the villain?
He might be the villain.
Oh, dang.
It'd be weird if they partnered up, but that seems very unlikely. They seem on like different ends of the spectrum.
What do you mean?
Wide-eyed Lucy from Vault 33.
The person who comes out of the literal grave and then murders everybody is not going to team up with Okie Dokie, Lucy.
Okie dokie, let's go do some murder.
I love this show. I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too. I do feel like they've set her up to have a great arc, though, because she's going to get a lot of reality checks.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout this season, for sure. So that will be cool to see. But so far, I'm loving all the actors. The aesthetics, as far as like what the games did and now what this show is like doing, is amazing and spot on. The tone is spot on.
Oh, the music.
The humor, the brutality. The music's great.
Yeah.
We even got little stim packs in there, like when she like heals herself.
Oh,
that look just like the game. I was like, oh, it's like the game.
Oh, hey, she took a health pack.
It's really good. So, yeah, I'm loving it.
Me too.
What about you, Carmen?
I love it. I mean, I know that this might be an unpopular opinion now that season 2's out, but I really liked the Halo show also, and so I'm like, man, it's like, is television the place where video game adaptations can really work? Because I feel like this show is great, so I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us. We're at Take This TV on Instagram and TikTok. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review, write us a comment, and we'll see y'all next time. And remember, it's dangerous to watch TV alone.